The bustling terminal at Chicago International buzzed with travelers rushing toward their gates. Among them was Emily Parker, a young mom with gentle eyes, carrying her 6-year-old daughter Lily. Emily looked tired but calm. It was her first time flying alone with her child. The only comfort she held on to was the message her husband sent minutes ago: landing soon. I'll meet you on board. Emily didn't know her husband had a reputation, one that would flip this entire flight upside down. Inside gate C-17, tension brewed. The flight to Seattle was full, overbooked, and pressure set heavy on the crew. One flight attendant, Rachel, paced irritably. She had already argued with 2 passengers. The stress was getting to her, something everyone felt, but no one mentioned. When Emily and her daughter reached the counter, Rachel barely glanced up. "You're late," she snapped, though Emily was on time. Emily offered a polite smile, unaware that this was only the beginning. Once boarding began, passengers shuffled in. Emily guided Lily to their seats, 14A and 14B. Lily hopped in happily, pressing her face to the window. Emily placed a backpack under the seat and buckled Lily's belt. Rachel approached, irritation freshly ignited. "Ma'am, move your bag, quickly," she ordered sharply. Emily immediately complied, but Rachel's tone drew attention. A few passengers exchanged uncomfortable glances. Nobody said anything. Nobody ever does. At least, not yet. As the cabin filled, a man in seat 14C arrived frustrated, sweating, juggling 2 bags. Rachel helped him, but aggressively, as if punishing Emily for the chaos. "This row is always trouble," Rachel muttered loudly. Emily pretended not to hear. Lily whispered, "Mom." "She's being mean." Emily hushed her gently. Sometimes grown-ups have bad days, but Lily sensed something darker. Meanwhile, Rachel kept shooting Emily cold, cutting glances as though Emily's very existence irritated her. Minutes later, Emily asked politely, "Excuse me, may I get a cup of water for my daughter before takeoff? She's feeling a little sick." Rachel's reaction was instant and harsh. "We are not serving anything right now. Follow instructions." Her voice echoed through the cabin. Lily flinched. Emily apologized, but Rachel stepped closer, towering over her. "Don't test me today." The passengers went silent. A man in row 13 muttered, "Whoa, someone's power tripping." As Rachel turned away, Lily accidentally dropped her toy, a small bunny, onto the aisle. Emily unbuckled for 1 second to pick it up. Rachel spun around. "Sit down. Are you trying to delay this flight?" Emily froze, humiliated. Rachel leaned in even closer, invading her space. "Last warning." Emily swallowed hard and nodded. But Lily's eyes glistened. "Mom, why is she yelling at you?" Emily forced a smile she didn't feel. "It's okay, sweetheart." But it wasn't. The pressure reached its breaking point. Another attendant called Rachel to the front. Emily whispered to Lily, "It's almost over." But Rachel returned moments later, angrier than before. "You two again?" she snapped, though they had done nothing. Emily tried calm reasoning. "I'm just trying to keep my daughter comfortable," Rachel scoffed. "Maybe try following rules like everyone else." Her voice was sharp enough to cut steel. Lily hid behind her mother. Gasps spread through nearby passengers. Everything exploded in an instant. Emily reached to comfort her daughter, and Rachel misinterpreted the motion. "Stop ignoring me," she barked, stepping forward. Emily tried explaining, "I'm just calming my child." But Rachel, overwhelmed with anger and pressure, lost control. She slapped Emily's cheek hard. The sound cracked through the cabin like lightning. Lily screamed. Emily held her face, eyes wide with shock and pain. The cabin erupted. Did she just hit her? Is this real? Call the captain. Phones came out. Cameras flashed. Rachel realized too late what she had done. Passengers jumped from their seats. One woman yelled, "You hit a mother." Another, "She needs to be removed." Rachel tried defending herself, stuttering. She was being difficult. But no one believed her. Emily sat frozen, tears gathering. Lily wrapped her arms around her mother's waist, trembling. A businessman nearby stepped forward. "This is assault. Someone escort her out." Rachel's face paled. Suddenly, the intercom chimed. Doors remain open. A late passenger is approaching. No one imagined who. A tall, impeccably dressed man stepped through the aircraft door. Confident, calm, radiating authority. This was Daniel Parker, Emily's husband, and also the CEO of one of the largest aviation tech companies in America. He had flown in on a connecting jet and instructed the airline to hold his wife's flight. Daniel scanned the cabin and froze when he saw Emily clutching her cheek, Lily crying, passengers filming. His expression shifted instantly from confusion to fire. "Emily?" Daniel rushed to her side. She whispered, voice shaky. "She slapped me." Daniel's entire posture transformed. People who knew him feared two things: his silence and his anger. He stood up slowly, turning toward Rachel. "Is this true?" Rachel, panicking, stammered excuses. She wasn't cooperating. She caused delay. Daniel cut her off sharply. "You struck a mother." "My wife." Gasps rippled through the cabin. Passengers realized this wasn't just a husband. This was a man with power. Daniel turned to the nearest attendant. "Call your captain." "Now," Rachel whispered. "Please. Don't escalate." Daniel shot her a look that froze her lungs. "You escalated it." The captain arrived moments later, expecting a small dispute, only to see a crying child, a shaken mother, and a horrified crew. "Explain," the captain demanded. Rachel tried, but passengers erupted. "We saw everything. She hit her. She abused her authority." The captain's face darkened. Daniel addressed the captain calmly, but the edge in his voice cut deep. "I will not allow my family or any passenger to be assaulted by your crew. Remove her from this aircraft immediately." The captain nodded. "Ms. Rachel, step off the plane." Rachel looked stunned. You're believing them over me?" The captain replied firmly. "Over footage, witnesses, and a crying child?" "Yes." Cheers erupted softly across the cabin. Security escorted Rachel away. As she walked down the aisle, passengers glared. Some shook their heads, others whispered, "She deserved it." Lily peeked out, whispering, "Is she gone?" Emily stroked her hair gently. "Yes, sweetie. She's gone." Daniel knelt to Lily's level. "You're safe now, okay?" His voice softened. But inside him, a storm brewed, a storm aimed directly at the airline. Once Rachel was removed, the captain turned to Daniel. "Sir, may I ask who you are?" Daniel handed over his badge. The captain's eyes widened. "Mr. Parker, as in Parker Avionics?" Daniel nodded. The entire airline crew stiffened. Parker Avionics supplied safety tech to thousands of aircraft, including this airline. The captain swallowed. "Sir, I assure you, she will never work another flight again." Daniel nodded calmly. "Good." As Daniel sat beside his family, the passengers around them offered comforting smiles. One woman said, "Sir, we're so sorry this happened to your wife." He thanked her, though the anger still simmered under his skin. Emily whispered, "I didn't want a scene." Daniel took her hand gently. "You didn't deserve this. You protected our daughter. I'll handle the rest." Emily finally allowed herself to breathe. Before takeoff, Daniel pulled out his phone. Not to call the police, though he could. Not to call the media, though they would listen. He called the airline's president, a man who answered instantly. "Daniel, everything okay?" Daniel answered calmly, "One of your crew assaulted my wife in front of a cabin full of witnesses." A dead silence followed. "We will take immediate action," the president said shakily. The captain returned with an apology letter for Emily signed personally by the airline president and emailed instantly. Daniel didn't need revenge. He wanted accountability. He simply said, "Fix your training. Fix your culture." The captain nodded. "We will, sir. Nearby passengers clapped quietly. For once, justice didn't come through shouting. It came through truth, unity, and power used responsibly. As the plane finally took off, Emily leaned on Daniel's shoulder. 2 hours later, the captain made an announcement. Today, decisive action was taken to protect a passenger and her child. Thank you for your cooperation. Together, they turned injustice into change.